Welcome to this new video of the Gelato.expert Academy. I'm Luca Musolesi and today I'm in Belgium and I'm here guest of Jarrik. Thank you Jarrik for having me.
Hi.
And we are in his gelato shop, Rococo, which is in Sterrenbeek, not far from Brussels. And today we want to do something special. Before going to what we are doing today, let's talk a little bit with Yarik about his experience in the gelato world. So when did you start making gelato?
We opened the shop in 2017, and then quickly after that, in 2018, I participated in a gelato festival in Belgium.
You started your career as a
Started
gelato
my
maker.
career as a gelato maker.
And why did you start gelato in the first place?
Well, I think as a kid I liked to eat a lot of gelato to begin with. Besides that, I also felt the urge to become an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very fascinated by how many different flavors that you can make out of a gelato, and also the point of view from chemistry wise that always attracted me to dug deeper into the subject.
It's a very interesting
It is very interesting.
matter and topic, of course. You mentioned the gelato festival. What flavor did you make in that gelato festival?
For the gelato festival, I wanted to do something in particular with a Belgian ingredient. And then I came up with the idea to visit the brewery of Cantillon in Anderlecht. And I was also inspired by Roger van Damme, who made a coulis on the Belgian television with an infusion of a lot of herbs, which I tried at home one time. So it was a combination of a raspberry sorbet together with the infusion of all the herbs, and with the Cantillon Rosé de Gambrinus was it called, which was also a lambic actually based on raspberries.
So beer is obviously a very Belgian ingredient and you have a lot of choices of beer.
Yes.
And you choose something very special. You mentioned the brewery Cantillon, where we've just been, and I will show you some images from there, where they make something special. They make Lambic beer, which is something that not many breweries, I think, they still make.
Cantillon is the last one, really located in the center of Brussels, as we just came from. It's very special to find some hidden gem in the center of Brussels, but they are the oldest one that make the real Brussels Lambic actually.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't know, a Lambic beer is a beer that is made with spontaneous fermentation. So there's no inoculation of a specific strain of yeast, but the yeast comes from the air of Brussels.
Yeah.
And all the yeasts that are present in the air go inside the beer and give a more complex flavor.
Yeah.
It's made only in a specific time of the year because of temperature and because of the air and the conditions to make it. And we are lucky today to have a few bottles of a beer that we will use to make a flavor.
Yeah.
The beer that we got is a Kriek, right? So it's based on sour cherries, which is another very typical ingredient for beer in Belgium, right?
It is. It's very common, especially for the Lambic ones. They use the Lambic Kriek, which is an original
variety of sour cherries.
Yeah, that they still use. Only that type of variety they use.
So now we are going to taste the beer and decide how to make the recipe with it, but I guess you also have some sour cherries, so we probably make a sorbet with it and then see what we can put together.
Yep.
Okay, so here we have our beers. As we said, they are Lambic and Kriek. So the process of production of this beer starts with a mix of wheat, here says 35%, and then malted barley, 65%, and then hop, of course. And it's first fermented with spontaneous fermentation from the yeast coming from the air in barrels, and then it's together with the sour cherries, a
Yep.
big amount. And then after that, it's put in the bottles with some of the fresh Lambic beer without the sour cherries. And then it's re-fermented in the bottle.
Yep.
So we can see here kind of the traces of the fermentation. So now we are going to taste it and see what we can do, how much we want to use in our recipe. So we poured a little bit of this beer. There's a very red-brown color.
Mm-hmm.
How's the smell?
Fruity, a little bit fermented. It's sour. But also complex.
Yeah, it's slightly bitter,
Mm-hmm.
not very bitter. It's not sweet at all.
No, totally not. But very fruity because of the
It's very
amount
fruity.
of.
Yeah, it really tastes like chewing the cherries after. I tried before other Kriek beers, but
Yeah.
they were more on the sweet side.
Commercial ones.
Yes.
Yeah. This is totally something different that you cannot find in the supermarket.
Yeah. They also sell in very little quantity.
Maximum 3 bottles per.
Usually 3 bottles.
Yeah.
We were very lucky. They
Yeah,
gave
we
us
had-
6, but yeah. So I would say we can make a sorbet with this, adding a little bit of sour cherries,
Okay.
and maybe we can top it with caramelized almonds
Okay.
to give a little bit of smoothness to the acidity,
Yeah.
but without covering too much the complexity of the beer, because it's very, very special and very
Yeah.
a flavor of its own.
We want to really keep this flavor in
Yeah.
our sorbet also. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, Yarik. So we were making the recipe. We thought about 40% of beer
Yeah.
to have a strong flavor.
That's what we want to achieve.
Sour cherries, maybe not too much.
No.
So 20% I think is probably enough. Then we
Yeah.
can adjust it later. And the sour cherries, they will give us a little bit more of acidity because obviously we need sugar in the gelato.
Yeah.
But at the same time, also a little bit more of texture and structure.
Yeah. Just to support a little bit
Exactly.
the beer.
And then we use just sucrose, dry glucose syrup, and inulin or other fibers,
Yeah.
so that we don't lower the freezing point too much. So we don't need dextrose because there's already the alcohol from the beer.
Yeah.
And then obviously we need to use a stabilizer that can work with alcohol,
Of course.
because the total amount of alcohol in this beer is 6%. So it's not too high, but using 40%, we still reach some amount of alcohol in our recipe. So around maybe 2% on the final recipe,
Yeah.
which is not too much, but it's
Still.
important to take account of that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start and make our recipe.
First sucrose, then the dry glucose syrup, now the inulin, and then the stabilizer. Okay, so now we add the water on top,
Hot water, right?
very hot. So now we add the beer.
So now before we freeze the gelato, we prepare the caramelized almonds.
All right.
So we have our almonds that are already in pieces, and we make a preparation with the caramel. So we put sugar and a little bit of water. We cook it until 120 degrees more or less.
Okay.
Then we add the almonds. It would be better if they are warm, but if you don't have the oven, it doesn't matter. And then we sandy them, so they become like sandy with the sugar crystallized, and then we finish caramelizing. This way, they are not too bitter. We can stop when we want. The caramel is not too aggressive, because otherwise it will cover the flavor of the beer. Our almonds are caramelized. We can proceed with freezing the beer sorbet.
Okay. Okay, so now it's ready, so we can extract.
Okay, Yarik. Now, while we are waiting for the gelato that is in the blast chiller to harden a little bit, and then we taste it. Just wanted to ask you a few questions about your shop.
Okay.
And so we are in Belgium. It rains a lot. How long are you open for during the year?
Well, we stay open from March until end of October.
Today, for example, is the beginning of September,
Yes.
and it was very raining. But also now I see there's the sun coming out, so
Yeah, that's Belgium.
very variable. Yeah. And so I see you have the pozzetti,
Yep.
and the clients, they don't complain.
Actually not, because I'm not really located in the city center. So people, when they come to the shop, they already made the decision before coming here. It's not that I have to attract them with...
What is your type of clients? Like kids, families?
A little bit of everything, but you have to know that Sterrenbeek or everything outside of Brussels is very international. We have a lot of expats, so we have a little bit of everything.
And you also have like a mobile Rococo.
I have the
which
real...
is very beautiful.
Yeah, I have the typical Italian Piaggio Ape that we... Some nice guy that transformed it to us for like a Rococo mobile. Looks very nice, only goes 45 kilometers an hour, but we still get there.
All right, I think we can now taste the gelato.
All right.
Put a little bit of our almonds and see how it is.
Okay, let's do that.
First without the almonds. It's really, really interesting. You get immediately the beer,
Yeah,
then the sour cherries.
you definitely taste the beer very well.
It's in between eating a gelato, drinking a beer. I think
Perfect combination.
I think even for people who don't really like beer like me,
Mm-hmm.
it's a good compromise because it's not overly bitter. It's more on the sour side
Yeah.
and fruity, but still with the complexity of beer. So very interesting flavor. Of course, this beer is limited. You have to come to Brussels to get it, or maybe some selected bars around Europe they have it.
Yeah. Specialty.
Specialty shops
Yeah, specialty
that have
shops.
beers. But if you can get one of these beers, definitely try this gelato because it's very good. So now we finish eating it.
All right.
Thank you very much, Yarik, for having me.
No
It
problem.
was fun.
You're welcome.
A lot of fun with the beer and the gelato. I hope you enjoyed this video and subscribe and check out the Gelato Expert Academy. See you in the next video.